Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm All Things Wrestling, and today I'm going to be reviewing WWE Raw 10th of December 2018. We kick off the show with Seth Rollins in the ring, and Burn It Down happened when he was in the ring, which was awesome. He said Burn It Down will be his rallying cry. He then calls out Baron Corbin. Baron does remind us of his match against Braun Strowman on Sunday and says he'll win by forfeit because we don't think he's going to show up. Baron says Seth wants to have a conversation, they can do it in private. The door to his office is always open to a superstar of his caliber. He then goes on to rant about the current day product, about how Baron's ruining people's career, and that this whole general manager thing's gone to his head. We've got the Revival, who should be wrestling for tag team titles. They're in the Lucha House Rule matches. You've got bloody stupid champions that Brock Lesnar hasn't wrestled on Raw since 2002. Just ranting on about more. He brings up how the ratings are low, how urination happened. The segment ended with Seth Rollins and Baron Corbin going into a TLC match for the Intercontinental title for the main event of the show. I've got to say, it was a pretty decent promo from Seth Rollins. Is he going to become the modern day CM Punk? By the look of it, I'm going to go yes. Because I'm not going to lie, whatever he said in this promo was bang on to how we felt for the last 2 weeks on Raw. So, yes, I'm going to give the promo a solid 8 out of 10. I'm hoping with this they recognise the problems and not just taking the piss out of it. But you never know with WWE. We then go to the 8 Authors of Pain with Drake Maverick in the ring, 3-on-2, versus Bobby Roode and Chad Gable for the Raw Tag Team titles. They hit their finisher. Maverick tags in, mocks Roode, but Roode with a crucifix to win. They are now the new champions. Drake Maverick cost him the titles. I'm going to assume he's going to be dead soon then. But yeah, I don't get why they're doing this whole cowardly Drake Maverick stuff, because he can actually wrestle. So I don't get this. The match was, I'd give it a 2 out of 5. It was not bad. I like how we've got new champions. Roode and Gable are pretty decent. They had a backstage segment. And they said, the only one word to describe this moment is glorious. Fair enough. Decent enough. I'm not really going to rate that. Then we have Natalya in the ring. Says she's got some stuff she needs to get off her chest. She said, you made this personal when you destroyed my dad's sunglasses and tried to destroy her legacy. She talks about however she earned her name. She reminds Ruby of the Montreal Screwjob, where her uncle punched the owner of the company. Said she has to overcome all of this to make it into WWE. I'm going to take this juncture to remind her that only Brett left when this happened. The rest of the family was still in the company. So it was only Brett's reputation that got ruined, not everybody else's. If you were his daughter, then I'd understand, but he's your uncle. I suppose by marriage as well. I don't actually fully know. But yeah, that one didn't land as I think you were hoping. But then Ruby Riott comes out, and she said Natty is crying again. And she said, you don't represent your family, you disgrace your family. And while she's not going to be invited to the Hart family Christmas, she's got a gift for Natty's spirits. She removes the cover to show a table with Jim the Anvil Neidhart on the table. And she said, on Sunday, you're going to be closer to your father than ever when I put you through this table. I don't know whether this, again, with WWE crosses the line, because they, again, using a dead wrestler to get a feud over. I don't know, but I found it amazing, and the table just made it better for me, in my opinion. I don't know. Some people may think it's bad and shitting on the dead. So I can see that aspect of it as well. It's a close one to call, but I'm going to assume Natalia's fine with this because they wouldn't be doing it otherwise, would they? But who knows? Then we have Dolph Ziggler saying last week he beat Drew McIntyre and added him to the list of people who took him for granted. He plucked Drew from security and he'll send Drew back there. He's not a good guy or a bad guy. He does not need Finn Balor's help. He shouldn't have thought he was Finn Balor. He should have remembered he is Dolph Ziggler. And then we have a Drew McIntyre promo. He said his last 3 men left. No one stays undefeated forever. Not Under the Giant, not the Undertaker at WrestleMania, not even Drew McIntyre. Does that make him any more dangerous or light a fire under him? Maybe you should ask Finn Balor. We cannot ask him because he's not here tonight. On Sunday he'll finish fitting for good. And when he talks, you will all listen. He was making more better place for you all. You might not like him, but you will respect him. Dolph said he's not good or a bad guy. He's the guy who'll get his head kicked off. Both promos were pretty decent. I'm liking what they're doing with this. Drew truly is making Raw better for me to watch. I do love Drew. I'm going to give them a good 6 out of 10. We then go to the match between Drew and Dolph Ziggler, which is a rematch from last week. Ziggler sets up for a super kick. Dolph collapses. Drew motivates Dolph to get back to his feet. Dolph with a kick and zigzag for a near fall. Drew with a claymore for a 3 count. 2.5 out of 5 for the match. It was pretty similar to last week, just no Finn Balor. But again, as Dolph was trying to get help, another claymore kick against the apron. Good on you, Drew. I love it. Yeah, it was really good. I love all the stuff they're doing with Drew at the minute. We then go to Bayley with Sasha Banks versus Alicia Fox, Jinder Mahal, Sunil Singh and Samar Singh. At some point, Apollo Crews makes his way out because he's now replacing Finn Balor in the Mixed Match Challenge to sell Finn Balor's injury. If you didn't realise, we don't follow kayfabe in this. Just telling you the show, and probably should, but who cares? Alicia and Bayley remember they're in a match after the whole business happens outside. Alicia misses a Yaksuka kick in the corner. Bayley with the belly-to-belly suplex for a 3 count. The match was... I'm going to give it a 2 just for the antics alone, really, because the match was a bit meh. But yeah. Then we have Dean Ambrose in the interview area. He says not to call him a lunatic fringe anymore. He said the architect, his name Seth, gave himself to keep the spotlight on him. That's not the Seth Valentino. Seth once went to the ring with no plan, and now he's in a TLC match with Baron Corbin. Seth is doing it for his big fat ego. Seth has always stepped on him and Roman. Seth is a piece of... If Seth is still champion on Sunday, he will take the title and tell Seth how he feels. And then when asked about what Roman Reigns would think, he said, "Who cares?" Then Dean is asked about the night they won the title, and a video with comments Dean said surrounding Roman's announcement of his portrayal of Seth. And then he looks around and walks away without saying anything. Solid promo. Good on you guys. 6 out of 10. Then we have Elias in the ring. He starts singing a song about Bobby Lashley sucking. And then Elias says he's a pretty good guy and does not put up with hitting children with a guitar at the top of the list, but last week was an exception. Tonight he has a match with Leo Rush and he'll teach him a lesson. We have that match. Heath Slater is the referee for the match. During the match, Bobby Lashley gets involved. He doesn't call for the bell. It is mentioned a lot on commentary that this is kind of like Heath wants to do a proper job, but he doesn't want us to get on the bad side of Baron Corbin. He needs the job, so he's kind of like in a backed up corner. We'll see this again later. But yeah, he's kind of like, do I or don't I disqualify them? And then Elias gets a guitar broken over his back, and then Rush gets the 3 count. I liked what they're doing with Heath here. But we'll get more into what I think about Heath a little bit later when we get to the relevant points. We then go to Heath Slater in the locker room and Baron says he did a good job. Someone put Hob in this one. Huh? He asked Heath about Rhino, and Heath said not to worry about. And then B tells him not to worry about ending his career. He said he's going home, but Baron said he's needed to referee another match tonight. We then have Alexa Bliss in the ring with Nia Jax and Tamina. It mentioned about this is one punch. I'm Auntie Rousey. I'm going to punch her over and over and over until she quits because she doesn't want to hit her anymore. Then I will hold the title. Then Ronda Rousey comes down, and then they leave the ring, and then Ember Moon comes down, and then Ember and Ronda is in the ring. And why did you drag Ember Moon into this load of bloody shit? Ember is worth so much more than this crap. I'm going to give the segment a 3 out of 10. I really don't like anyone involved apart from Ember. We then have Tamina Snuka versus Ember Moon. Ember drops Tamina off the top rope and hits a clip for the 3 count. Good on you, Ember. You at least got a win. I'm going to give it a 2 out of 5 just because Ember won. I've got no more words to say about it. Then we have Baron Corbin in the back and asks about his match against Seth Rollins, whether it's abuse of power. He said it sounded like a loads questioned, and do you want to be sent to SmackDown? He went, I'm joking. He'll win by forfeit on Sunday, and he can't have people deprived of him smashing people through tables, hitting them with chairs and ladders. So he made this TLC match for tonight. And then someone said about the rumours of Braun appearing on Sunday, which he will. Whether he'll compete or not, who knows. Not to believe the rumours, he's a one-man guy. This is the only taste of what Seth will feel when he becomes full-time general manager. Not really going to rate that. Then Lars Sullivan had a promo package. He said what will happen on Sunday will be minor compared to what happens when he comes to WWE. I like Lars Sullivan. Can't wait to see what he does. We then have a TLC match. A couple of lovely table spots. The first one, Corbin goes through. Seth Rollins climbs the ladder. Heath Slater is kind of like, okay, I should really not let Seth win because otherwise I'm going to lose my job, and oh my god. So he pushes Seth Rollins off. Slater resets the ladder, picks up Corbin, brings him to the ring. Rollins managed to knock Slater down. Buckle bombs Corbin through a table in the corner. Listens to Slater's plead his case, and then hit with a super kick followed by, it says blackout. I don't know what the hell that is. I completely forgot what the hell movie did. I kind of missed it. He then climbs the ladder and got the belt, so he retained. And then Dean Ambrose made his way onto the stage as we go to credits. So something's going to happen after the cameras start rolling. Yeah, solid match. I'm going to go 4 out of 5. That's a lot with the Heath. Again, this is what I'm talking about with Heath being put in difficult situations. I love it. I love Heath Slater. I'm really, really gutted they stopped doing anything with him after he won the first SmackDown Tag Team titles, because I loved him as a character, and I still do. So it's nice to see they're doing something with him, even if it's just being Baron Corbin's whipping boy. But I like him. He's a great personality. He's a very sympathetic babyface right now, which is really good. So, good points for doing that. The show was better this week. I'm going to go with about 5 out of 10. It's not amazingly perfect, but it's getting up levels a little bit at a time. We had a decent promo from Seth Rollins. We had a good couple of matches, new tag titles, a TLC match. I mean, I can't say the show was amazingly great and hooked me throughout, because there was a lot of dull bits that I was kind of like, meh, can we hurry up and get to some interesting stuff? But overall, yeah, pretty decent. I enjoyed it. I did enjoy it. Now, as always, if you have enjoyed this review, please give it a like. Please support me on Patreon. Link in the description below. Subscribe to see more content, and I'll catch you later. Bye.